On the 5th of September 1694, a great fire swept through Warwick. Whole streets were destroyed, along with most of St Mary's Church. The town and the church were rebuilt, and today this is one of Britain's finest parish churches. And we've come here to find out more about this wonderful building. We're also visiting other churches in Warwickshire and beyond, which have been renewed in surprising and inspiring ways. Today, how a village church has literally risen from the ashes. A transformation into a place of play as well as prayer, and what a new chapel means for a 19th century college. Plus hymns from our congregation and international star Hayley Westenra. Across Britain, churches are changing, and many congregations are going through challenging times. While some churches have closed and even been demolished, new ones have opened. Wherever people meet to worship, often what brings them together is a desire to praise God. And our first hymn, based on Psalms 148 and 150, is a magnificent hymn of praise. The tower of the Collegiate Church of St Mary rises over the town of Warwick, higher even than the castle. However, when it came to rebuilding the church after the Great Fire, the tower here nearly wasn't built because it was realized the original design was flawed. The story goes that Sir Christopher Wren was called in to advise, and he said it needed to be built outside the church's walls. This is why the tower sits over what was originally the road, with the entrance to it separate from the church. Inside, the church's 3 fine organs are proof of a long and distinguished musical tradition. And the choirs of St Mary's Collegiate Church are now going to sing a verse from a prayer traditionally attributed to St Patrick. Martin Green was looking for a new job after spending 3 years as the vicar of St Nicholas Church in the Warwickshire village of Redford Semele. He was moving on, or so he thought.
I was away on interview, had the first stage of the interviews on the Friday night, and that night had a very vivid image, really. A vivid image of a kind of a dark mass, really, and out of which there was an arm and a hand coming, saying, you know, that sort of sense of help. So there was something just calling me back, really. I came home, and that night the church was broken into and set on fire.
And what was left?
Nothing, well, just the walls, really. We were left with a shell, the stone shell and the tower.
It must have been devastating.
It was. I mean, that sense remains with me, really, standing, you know, in the ruins, because it felt as if that kind of spirit of worship and prayer and that had been there for generations had just vanished. There was a huge sense of grief because of memories and events and things over generations that had been part of village life, and suddenly all of that was gone. The village war memorials were here and they were all destroyed, basically. I mean, they were just screwed up metal.
Almost 6 years after the fire, the church has been completely rebuilt.
It is beautiful and very different from what was here before. And the mix of the sort of new and the old has been really cleverly done, I think. At the top of the bell tower, which I've left uncovered so people can see the original stone of the tower, which I think is lovely, actually. The cross that we have on the communion table was made out of some of the burnt joists under the floor.
The building has risen again. There is new life for the church. Is there new life for the community of the church, for the spirit of the church as well?
Well, there is, yes. When the fire happened that Sunday, it was Palm Sunday, the church congregation moved over into the community hall in the village. And we stayed worshipping there over those 5 years, and during those years, the church has grown. So in fact, the church moving back in is a bigger and stronger church than it was when the fire happened. We've had a difficult journey. But having said that, for me, it's been, in a sense, a kind of story about what the church should be. That out of brokenness and destruction, there is hope. And, you know, God's part of that is bringing something new out of something that's actually been a terrible tragedy.